Today, the beast is exposed. The food industry is being exposed like no other times in our lives. For some of us, maybe it's too late, but for many, we can change our lives today by deciding what we eat and vote with our dollars and stop buying the junk food, the synthetic cheap vitamins made from chemicals and coal tar, and stop buying the beverages full of artificial sugar that causing all kind of diseases in our lives. Here's an industry insider briefly explains.
Grains and stuff. Going back to my early devil's advocate, like what if they're really just trying to make cheap calories available? Because honestly, even I really want people to be healthy. And I want them to eat whole food, but I would much rather people have Coke and terrible things and be alive than these calories just not be available and they're starving to death. Now, I have no idea if that could be so fake and it's not even an issue, and it'd be so easy to get them chicken breast and carrots, whatever. But I haven't looked at it. So that would be the one thing I would say, like, has anybody looked? Is there anything that is, it doesn't even have to be hyper palatable, but is there anything palatable that we could make available on SNAP so that when we get rid, we say no more subsidies that lead to Coke in the first place, and then even if people are going to keep making Coke, don't let it be purchasable with SNAPs. What do they eat then?
Yeah, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna dispute a little bit of your premises.
Please, I literally have no idea.
I come from a libertarian, early in my career worked for Republicans, right? Free markets and individual choice is really important to me. What we have right now is a total corruption of the system, where we have a $115 billion government program in the case of food stamps, right? Lobby to basically subsidize and pay for poison, which then costs trillions of dollars of downstream health impacts. So if you change that, that's not messing with the market, that's correcting the market. If you said for a government nutrition program, it needs to be, even cutting out those three ingredients, even saying it needs to be whole foods or packaged foods that don't include seed oil, sugar, or highly processed grains. If you did that tomorrow,
Yes,
you'd have Amazon and all these companies, and there'd be Quest product. If there's a $115 billion pot of money and the rules change, right now everyone's flooding in to accomplish rules. Now when you go into literally 100%, Coca-Cola instructs all the supermarkets to do special campaigns around the days that SNAP funding comes into account. And a Coca-Cola is front and center and actually cheaper at a supermarket often than water because there's so many subsidized ingredients in that. Wow. So everyone's playing by the rigged rules of the game.
Rigged.
I just think it's a totally false choice, right? In Sweden, there's a huge emphasis for lower income programs, to encourage whole foods, farmers market, and there's farmers markets in lower income areas because that's where the money is. So you talk about this issue of food deserts. It's kind of this perversion of the thing. The NAACP plays into this. So these folks need Coke and they need processed food because there's food deserts. No, there's food deserts because of the corrupt policies that you are being paid to promote. Amazon and all these innovative companies would be in these places tomorrow if there were economic incentives to be there.
Amen.
So we have a rigged market. On the money thing, I do also dispute that this is too expensive. What's hard right now is, again, that healthcare is the largest and the fastest growing industry in the United States, producing worse outcomes. In our industries, innovation is better prices, better service. It's the opposite, and it's the largest industry in the country. So what's happening, is these, and I think conservatives actually are starting to understand this. The left, I think it's a bipartisan issue of our time, but we are writing the check for our bankruptcy. I mean, the amount of budgetary devastation that we are embedding with a 30% childhood pre-diabetes rate. I mean, just think about how much of a gold mine a diabetic child is for the healthcare system.
Oh God, that's
the key is it's a gold mine. It's the greatest thing possible, and we're creating more than through the incentives of the system. But what's so great about a diabetic child for the system? Well, the 30%
out of context. Let me tell you what's so great about a diabetic child.
It is, diabetic children are both the greatest economic gift to the largest industry in the country and what's going to seed I think the collapse of the United States because of the budgetary, because the amazing
Already
thing
collapsing.
economically about a diabetic
It's already
child
collapsing
is they don't die,
right in front of our eyes.
but they have growing comorbidities. So the second that child enters the system, they are told by the American Diabetes Association, which is funded by diabetes drug makers and food companies, that this is a lifetime non-reversible condition.
But that really winds me up when people say that.
Yeah, diabetes is completely reversible. Diabetes, there's nothing medically significant about the blood sugar level of diabetes. It's an arbitrary marker of blood sugar.
Yep.
There's nothing scientifically like you've crossed the Rubicon when you have diabetes or prediabetes, right? It's completely under our control and completely reversible through food. If you do your simple program
Food and
of,
nutrition.
moving and eating whole foods,